I haven't said in ages. Welcome to the Grawlix podcast.
Oh my. Oh,
It's been a
that felt
while.
good. I don't know why.
It did. I agree. I would agree with you, sir. I would agree with you. What's going on? Facebook and Twitch. How's it going? We're still doing that.
Yeah. Savannah's here. It's time.
Savannah. I had I had to message Savannah before we went live to let her know because she might have been driving, but she didn't want to miss it. She's dedicated.
I like that. I like it.
Oh, I like that about you. That you listen to our show.
I like that you listen to our show. That was weird. I may be biased.
Paul's all tingly, he says.
Oh my. Hopefully that's a good tingly and not a bad tingly and
I'm tickling you.
not a problematic tingly.
Drove to Griswold and back and made it back in time. Holy crap.
I don't even know where that is.
It's somewhere with bears.
Because it's got
Is
grizzly.
Mm-hmm.
Grizz in the title.
Oh, look at you. I'm
Is
so
it?
proud of you guys. Now I'm all tingly.
All right. Yes. We got all this stuff to do. I figured we'd talk a little bit about what we've been watching. Specifically, there's two things I want to mention that we watched. And one of them I only want to mention because I want to use it to poke at Jesse. And then, I got news. About an hour 15 away. Yep. That was what Savannah said. In response to what she was saying.
I thought our news was an hour 15 away, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess
The news is an hour and 15 minutes away.
Strap in, kids.
Strap in. How's the chat doing? How you guys been? Where do you guys want to start? What are we doing? Wait, let's check in.
Yeah,
How you guys doing?
We're good.
poopy.
Good.
Jesse's good. You're poopy.
I'm poopy
Why are you poopy?
because Nebraska unemployment sucks parts of my body, or actually your body, is really what I would say. If I were being, crass.
I don't consent to that.
I would agree that unemployment process is bonkers and awful.
Say it again.
Yes, it is. And unnecessarily so, I think, but that's me.
Especially right now.
Why do you open a whole office of people that can't do anything? I go down there, wait an hour, and then they can't help me. Well, then what is your purpose? Why are you here? But anyway, let's move on.
Bureaucracy.
And it's a bunch of people who have jobs serving people poorly who don't have jobs.
That's a
Yep.
good
And
point.
all they can think about is how I could do your job better than you're doing it right now.
Mm.
Well, good. I've been okay too. And I've been all right. Work has been this week. Melanie, you can actually attest because you've been here the last day or two.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've been busy lately.
Yeah, it's been busy.
I've been busy.
I've been like, I don't want to make you not work, but we need to eat.
Right. No, that was like 45 minutes ago. Maybe an hour now. But I have been streaming. And I've sometimes, even with the stream, so I've been doing that pretty regularly on Twitch. And even with that, I feel there's definitely times when I'm like, I probably should still keep working. But in a way, I think I've kept doing the streams every day because I'm like, this is me time. So I'm going to schedule me time.
You're right.
And I want to play video games. So I might as well do it on Twitch where other people can watch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
That makes sense.
It's almost like scheduling social time too. I mean, if people want it, if people are available and they want to chime in.
Yeah, me and Paul are there.
It's time for my daily, Paul and Melanie talk. Occasionally, I think Matt swooped in twice, I think. Yet last night for a little bit, and then on one of the Skyrim streams. I seen you poked in last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's been fun. So I've been enjoying that.
I think there were 2 other people who came in too for like
Ryan.
3 seconds.
Ryan is another regular on the Twitch. He only shows up on Twitch, so usually later in the evening. So he probably won't bounce in on this. But if he does, I'll see the comments. That's all that's been new with me, except for stuff. Wait, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
Who?
I heard Jesse made a lip sound.
Did I? Oh,
he's about to talk.
Not on purpose. No. I'm just
he's
just a lippy guy. Lippy.
He's getting
Miss Lippy's car is green.
Salivating for the news and stuff. That's what he's doing.
Awesome. Yeah. That's the sounds you guys want to hear.
No.
I know Randy loves the mouth noises.
Mm-hmm.
They can be extreme. But it's normal. I have plugins for mouth noises. Those are actually pretty easy. Except for I have to cut those manually. Okay. And I do because okay, well, let's talk about a couple things we've been watching. Mainly, I want to talk in a spoiler-free way because I know Jesse, I don't think, has been watching this.
Not yet,
Westworld
nope.
Season 3 has wrapped up. Last weekend, it was the final episode of Season 3. And I just wanted to say, I loved it. What?
Yeah, I know you did.
As soon as I know, because as soon as the episode ended, I was like, that's the coolest episode of TV that's ever been. Or that's the coolest season of TV that's ever been.
Said season.
Really?
I loved it. And which is cool because I was hesitant.
Because it's the real world.
I was hesitant, yeah, because they were leaving Westworld, right? So I was like, what are you doing?
Right.
I seen the sequel to the Westworld movie and it wasn't great. They left Westworld too. I will say, plot-wise, I don't feel it's the strong. Like, I think the plot's good, but it definitely has twists, and there's definitely things where, like, throughout the whole season, I'm like, well, what exactly is the plan? What is happening? Not in a confounding way, but in a, like, it's just obviously not clear how it's going to play out. Mm-hmm. And they definitely held some things to the end, but I feel like it's the most straightforward season. There's nothing that really, in my opinion, rivaled the William reveal in the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The second season felt overly cryptic, not necessarily in a bad way, but the second season had a lot of weird kind of stuff going on, a lot of very intentional time jumping. Mm-hmm. The third season kind of felt like they were maybe an intentional steer away from that. It's plot wise pretty linear. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's maybe the most, and the first 2 seasons hit some of the really interesting stuff to do with the androids, the AI, what that means, consciousness. It hit a lot of those themes pretty hard. So I feel like the third season just didn't have those themes to hit as hard. It is there a bit, and it does then, since it is in, like, it's out of Westworld, it then brings in more themes.
A lot, yeah. I think this one was much more about, of course, technology and how we control it and it controls us.
The human side of, the technology aspect.
Yeah. And the only thing I can say I wished they would have done differently is I wish there was a little more Maeve. She's like my favorite character, and I was kind of disappointed there wasn't some more.
Yeah, I agree. Season 2, I think, focused on her a lot more.
That's because she's the best.
She is pretty cool. But that said, like, the final episode of the season, I was not disappointed. It was very good.
I mean, I don't. If this is a huge spoiler, then don't answer it. But do they all get out of Westworld? It seems like she was still in Westworld.
Mm-mm.
as was the Man in Black.
I mean, in terms of it definitely does not play out how I expected, but like very, very little of the season takes place in Westworld. Almost, I'd say 96% of it is not in Westworld. So,
and kind of sort of to answer this question a little bit more, I wouldn't. Very few of the people of the hosts from Westworld are actually in the show either.
Kind of, yeah.
There's only a handful.
Well, because if you follow the key ones are there, but like most of the hosts during season 2 went off to their digital land in the sky. So there's only really, of the hosts that we know, a handful of like the notable characters. I'm surprised there weren't more that appeared more often this season. It's very much the key host characters that you'll see time and again, but a lot of the notable ones, including at least one or two that I was kind of surprised about, show up.
Yeah.
So Jesse is so stoic right now.
Well, you know, I don't know.
Well, you haven't watched any of it, and
I don't have any information on this one, so it's like I don't know what to ask or not ask.
Part of what I liked is there's elements that feel like it definitely and intentionally, the show and the score reflects it, I feel. It definitely pulls from Blade Runner. It's got a Blade Runner feel, kind of. That kind of cyberpunk future city thing, but it's cleaner. It feels more modern, I guess. It's a more modern take on what that. It's not like so far out to where it's like it's always dark and raining and there's I don't know, it's unrecognizable. No, it looks like the real world with more tech and stuff like that, but it's got a cool kind of Blade Runner-y feel at times.
It's got Cybertrucks,
a lot of driverless vehicles.
Yeah.
Oh, as long as they're better CGI than Doctor Who.
Yeah, no, I'd say. Oh yeah,
the completely CGI truck
last season. Like, why do that?
Why?
Oh, Savannah decided to get HBO Now for Westworld, but haven't started it yet. Have you watched any Westworld? Do you know if she's watched any?
I don't know.
It's
but
so
if you
good.
haven't, yeah, it's really good.
There's Terminator-y elements at times in this season, which I appreciated a lot, and it totally makes sense because there's robots.
Yeah,
but
it didn't go Terminator-y.
No, but when it did, it did.
Yeah.
In a few, yeah. This review is they really scored with Randy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right.
it was fine. It was fine.
One thing is, okay, for the most part, it's all tied up in a nice, pretty bow. There's like one, maybe two things that they could still have another season jump off of, but I don't know that they're going to.
I feel like they will. I guess I haven't read anything. It is for Westworld, given how season 1 and season 2 left, it is suspiciously a lot of things they brought a lot of things around to where if the show ended here, it'd be okay.
Yeah, you just have like one question, maybe two.
And I was even like, so what seemed like the final scene, the credits start, and I was like, yeah, that kind of felt like that was good. That felt like the end. And you're like, yeah, but what about this and this plot hole? They didn't do anything with that. And then there's like kind of extended post credits.
Yeah, the after credits, like they did last season.
That totally set up where the threads that would carry into the next season.
So, well,
you would assume.
Yeah.
I hated it.
But do they die if their bodies decompose?
I don't know.
That's a question I have.
Yeah. Okay. The only other thing I wanted to mention specifically that we watched and we should have mentioned this last week, but I was so off my game last week. Melanie and I watched a movie called Mayhem.
Oh yeah.
And it's got, I should know his name, but it's got the actor who played Glenn in Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, I don't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, but it's got that guy, and also the lady that played the babysitter in The Babysitter. Mm-hmm. I don't know what else she's been in.
Yeah.
And I should almost say nothing about it and be like, Jesse, you go watch this movie right now.
Right now?
It's
a show to do.
Yeah,
right now. We'll wait.
Wait till you're feeling good and cabin fevery and then watch it.
Good and go. So this is one of those, huh?
Okay, so it's a lot. It actually is a lot of fun. I don't think it's not a perfect movie, but it's new segment. Randy hates everything. So it's a lot of fun. I hated it.
That's just the show now, Paul. It's not a segment.
But the reason I thought of you is because the whole premise, and this is from a few years ago, but the whole premise is there's a virus that, a contagious virus.
I can't relate to that at all.
What? Anyway, it's this virus.
I'm reading comments.
This virus gives everybody pink eye and makes them mad.
It basically like
pink eye does make me mad.
It makes my id go wild. It makes your id go crazy. Like your id takes control. So people like just lose total impulse control.
Oh, it's like Hater. Hater was a book that was basically like the zombie apocalypse, but it was like written from the point of view of the zombies, sort of. And basically what happened was like they would just snap, and and it was more like they were more like rage zombies than zombies. Like they weren't zombies really at all.
But that's it. They're not zombies at all, and it goes away. So you're a rage monster for what, like 24 hours, 36 maybe.
Well, there's some type of like, so there's an initial, like it sets it up with, there's like an initial outbreak, but it's not really about that. It's about like a year later, 18 months later, to where it's relatively contained. And the Glenn, I'm going to just call him Glenn, is a lawyer. And he's the lawyer that established during the first outbreak, which was they placed somewhere in like Iowa, which was odd.
Yeah.
But there was a big like milestone lawsuit as a result because one of the guys stabbed a dude to death because he was infected with this. And Glenn is the lawyer who found the loophole that basically is, I mean, it's not like a big surprise thing.
Yeah.
Who got him from getting murdered or from getting the murder charge or whatever. So that sets up like
a precedent.
A precedent. And then, so what the movie is basically somebody introduces the contagion into this lawyer's building, this big, huge, firm, and the building gets locked down. So they're all stuck inside and everybody gets infected. And it's just a bunch of like real crappy people who now have no control over themselves.
Oh my
God. And no, they're not going to get in trouble for anything they do.
And since they're the lawyers that figured that set the precedent to begin with, they know they're not going to get in trouble after it's done. And ultra violence, dark comedy, and that's the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, actually, it does sound right up my alley. It sounds like that book that I was citing, and but different. I mean, like it's obviously not based on that same book, but I'm curious because at one point. This means absolutely nothing because he's slated to do every movie ever. But at one point, Guillermo del Toro was slated to do the movie for Hater. And I was super excited about it. And then I realized that he does that all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. No, that's true. He gets attached to a lot of things.
He's the name that they throw out and they're like, oh, this guy, and everybody gets excited. And then they're like, okay, we were just kidding.
Yeah, no, we're kidding. And this movie's not even getting made now.
Paul has a good point. That poor actor is destined to have a jacked up eye scene now every time.
Yep. His
eye's not so bad in this movie as it was in Walking Dead.
No.
That's was gross. Thanks for reminding me of that.
CGI James Dean.
Yeah, that's it. It was good. No, it's really not like, it's weird watching a virus movie right now. Like that aspect's weird, and that's what made me think of you, because I know you were like, you watched some stuff and you're like, cabin fever. But
well, Color Out of Space in particular was so environment, like,
right.
It was so is it environment the word I'm thinking of? Yeah. Yeah, it created a vibe that was just like, I was already on edge, and then just like ramped up that on edge feeling, and I was like, oh, I like this. I have to watch it because speaking of which, I don't know why I keep doing this to myself during the quarantine, but Joker was on sale through Vudu. It was like $2-3 to rent it. So I'm like, wow, I guess I should rent this because it's super duper cheap. And if I'm going to watch it, couldn't get it for a better price, so I rented that. So within the next 12 days or so, I'll have to watch that too. And I've heard that's super cheery.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, dude. What are you? You're like, everyone's in quarantine. Time to watch the most depressing Schindler's List. Let's add that.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, I've watched that in a long time. Let's see if it holds up.
Land Before Time, but only up till the parents die.
Yeah. Oh, for real.
Oh man.
Was it the what? Even the Never-Ending Story,
right? Yeah.
You know, like his whole thing is about his mom.
Oh, I know.
Oh, that too. Yeah. That whole movie is a thinly veiled allegory for grief.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think. Oh, so Paul says, Jesse, you and I need to talk then if you're watching quarantine-related films. I don't think it's intentional.
No, it's not. But it is odd that a bunch of things are going on sale that are not good for me mentally.
Because Humble Bundle.
Oh, you're trying to say?
Oh man, that's not good for me either. Yeah,
I wanted to mention, but Jesse, you mentioned in messages or on a comment, Humble Bundle's got a ton of stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
And listen, we have affiliate links and stuff, but we're always Humble Bundle people. We love it.
Years before we had an affiliate link, we were like, go to Humble Bundle or try this Humble Bundle.
It was one of those things where I heard they had an affiliate program. I was like, why aren't we on that? We talk about them all the time.
For real. Yeah.
So the thing that caught my eye today, since I've been kind of playing a lot of games, is the Humble Spring Sale started, and that's going for, I don't know, until the 10th or the 20th. And they have a ton of, it's not like a bundle, but because you could buy just games through humble.com or whatever. Mm-hmm. But they have a ton of games on sale. And some of them are actually pretty good deals, because yesterday I was actually looking at, because I've been playing a lot of Skyrim, and I'm like, I was looking at for other like open world games, kind of like that. And people talk about Witcher 3 a lot. And I've never played any of the Witcher games. So yesterday, in fact, I was looking at Witcher. I looked on Humble, I looked on Steam, and it's like, if you want the Game of the Year edition, which of course I'm not going to get,
right,
the standard edition.
But who does that anymore?
Who does that? But it's like $50 yesterday, and then today it's like, if the Humble Spring Sale started, and I think it's like 17. So I'm gonna buy it.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's a significant. Yeah. But lots of other stuff.
The game we played yesterday, we got for like $1.
Yeah, that was on Steam. The game we streamed last night, Oh Sir, the Insult Simulator, and Oh Sir, that's still on Steam. But on Steam, that both games bundled together is like $1. But a bunch of the Ubisoft games and Bethesda games and all that is on Humble Bundle. So you should go to grawlixpodcast.com/humble, and that'll take you there.
Right now, they've got an Asmodee bundle that just went up today that is full of games like Love Letter and stuff that I bought and had multiple copies of.
Right.
So, I like those games because I have more than
the bundle
one.
Again.
Yeah. I was just like, I actually was looking at it. I was like, wait, no, I have this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. And I had those in duplicate already. So no, never again.
What's up, Jasper? How you doing? Jasper, go to grawlixpodcast.com/humble. And there's a bunch of, you got a PC now. You're doing PC gaming. They got a bunch of games on sale.
You have to get Bethesda if you're doing PC gaming, because Bethesda's this stuff.
It's the stuff.
Or you could read the entirety of the Walking Dead series.
The Walking Dead Humble Bundle, the entirety. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, we should. I need to get that. How much is that?
I think it's like $25 for the whole thing.
Wow,
that's like every Walking Dead ever.
If my unemployment ever kicks in, then woo!
Right. And then there was the music one, and I already bought one of those music ones, but I'm like, this one's got like score stuff.
There's a lot. Yeah, I was looking through that. There was a lot. The only thing that kept me from it is I couldn't find like license information, but
that was my problem with the last one. I was like, I don't know how this works.
What are you pointing at? Okay.
I thought you were muting, but
I was, I'm always on the edge of muting, just waiting.
Stop it.
He's on the edge of muting.
Well, when it's just me here, it's good to mute, unless I'm playing Steam, and then I'll mute and forget to unmute for like 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll just be talking away, and then I'll look at the chat, and it's like, are you still talking? Maybe. My hand just went to Skyrim positions.
I saw that.
I just went to WASD. All right. No Skyrim tonight.
Yeah, Jasper has unpopular opinion. He didn't like any of the Telltale game. Are you talking about the Walking Dead Telltale game or just Telltale Games in general?
Yeah, because I like what was that fairy tale one?
The Wolf of not the Wolf of Wall Street. The Wolf of Wall Street Telltale game, with Leo. The Wolf Among Us, which is based on, we read
Fable?
Fable. Yeah. That was good. I enjoyed that. I was on the fence about the Batman one I played. I did like the chapter 1 of the Batman Telltale game on the YouTube channel ages ago, and it was okay. It wasn't bad. For something like Batman, it's a kind of weird. Like I like the detective aspect of it, and for something like Wolf of Wall Street, for something like The Wolf Among Us, it's perfect, and it's good storytelling like style. For Batman, it's like I could play the Arkham games and I could actually just be Batman. So
yeah,
it's a little weird in that respect,
and it works especially well with Fable because it's got like the pop-up book kind of a scene cut thing. That works really well with it.
Savannah says, wait, what Fable? Not
the Fable you're thinking of. It's like it's a comic book series where all of the characters from like fairy tales and stuff are real and they live in the real world, but they have to stay hidden.
And it's like what do they call it?
It's like Toontown, only
detective style. It's
like
a
noir,
hard-boiled fairy tales.
Yeah, it's good.
Other Telltale game. The two that I like the most, that I actually return to and play the most, are the Back to the Future series was fun, super bonkers, and it was like an actual fun sequel to the Back to the Future story. And I also it's the only poker game I play, but Poker Night at the Inventory. There's two versions of it, and one like the second one has Brock Sampson, and you can play poker against Brock Sampson. Yeah, it's incredible.
If he loses, does he throw people out the window?
Oh, he does all sorts of stuff. Like his tells, he'll have they all have tells, and like sometimes he'll just randomly like glare at you and growl. Sam and Max are featured at in one or the other of the games. Claptrap from Borderlands is in there.
Tell Savannah she should play.
Savannah, you were talking about you were talking about Fable. Is it Fable or Fables?
Fable.
Sorry. Okay. You were talking about. She's talking about Fables or Fable.
Fable.
I think the first one was originally just on Xbox, but there was Fable 2. Was there a third?
Yeah.
It's like a fantasy game, fantasy action video game.
I think she should play Skyrim.
I was gonna say like, get up on some Skyrim if you like Fable, or whatever. I never played Fable.
Really?
I didn't care for. I was not a fan of those worlds. I was like, I have better fantasy worlds, and then Skyrim happened.
You probably would like Fable if you played it.
Jasper says Fable is an amazing game, except 3. 3 belongs in the same place E.T. Atari was found.
Jasper coming in hot with the hot takes tonight.
I
don't know anything about Fable, so that's maybe entirely accurate. But most things don't belong where E.T. wound up.
Yeah, that's true.
I think. Okay, Skyrim is very similar to Fable, but I like. I hate it. I had issues because I'm not really a gamer myself, but switching powers was always a pain in the butt to me.
In what?
In Fable, and it's way easier in Skyrim, and so I'm more. I mean, I don't really. I just sneak around and murder people from afar. That's what I do. But if I do use my powers, which I have occasionally, it's way better in Skyrim than it was Fable.
I think that's the advantage and it's a smart thing that Bethesda embraced when they took over Fallout and Elder Scrolls. I think they took over Elder Scrolls. Maybe they always had it, but they kept the RPG element of like the almost, and it's not quite turn-based, but the slower RPG pace, but still like appeal to the general masses, which is maybe like to some of the fans of the earlier games, it's a negative with the action aspect. So it's an action RPG to where like both in, Fallout, you'd shoot, or Skyrim obviously is those things, swords.
Yeah.
Swords and boards. And you can get in there, but if you're getting overwhelmed in Fallout, it's a like pretty well integrated mechanic of the VATS where you basically boom, and at least until Fallout 4, it was a total time freeze. And then you could like aim for the head, aim for this, blah, blah, blah. And it really like slows it down and helps if you're not used to like fast paced action shooters.
Right. And
Skyrim has similar elements to where it's not fully VATS, but if you need to switch weapons or your spells, and like Skyrim, your inventory just becomes an unmanageable mess. The menus freeze the game. So you can be like, oh, chug 10 potions because I'm about to die. And then equip this in this hand and equip that in that hand. And go. And then you can, yeah. So it's good for people that aren't used to fast-paced action games, I guess.
Me.
Paul says the freedom of Skyrim rocks the socks off of Fable.
Yeah, that does rock.
That's really the big appeal to me for Skyrim. I run into the limitations because there's definitely a point at which you're like, all right, there's like 3 main quests. I don't know if which one do I want to do. But especially in early game, when you first jump in with a new character and you're kind of underpowered, there is a feeling of like, I could do anything. What do I want to do? And then you end up playing as a merchant.
And when you have quests that you don't want to do, then you know what you do? You go talk to somebody and you'll get another quest. And it's fine.
Or you download the right mods and you go camping all the time.
Yeah, because the mods are crazy.
It's a camping simulator.
It is. That's actually become like my favorite thing to do in the game, is to set up camp, to hunt and gather a bunch of wolf corpses, I guess carcasses, and then set up camp and just skin them by the campfire. So mundane, but it's so fun. We're not a video game podcast, though. Despite what our YouTube
we just want you to go to Humble Bundle. That's all. Use our link.
Oh, yeah.
We do want you to go Humble Bundle.
Affiliate link.
They're cool.
Jesse.
Yes.
What have you been doing? Have you been watching anything? You got anything? Because we
actually
dominated this.
I finished up Ozark because I couldn't stop. We could not stop. And I don't know if you guys
Ozark.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched season 3, but
no.
Holy cow, season 3, like at first it starts a little weird because it's if you remember how season 2 ended, it sets things up, and season 3 it just goes boom, like they're in it. And it goes some places you expect, but it also goes to some places you just don't even see coming. It's crazy. Yeah. So it's good. It's another one of those shows. I mean, like, I'm surprised to hear that Westworld season 3 is, not only as good, but as you say, maybe one of your favorite episodes of television. Same thing with Ozark. It somehow continues to get better. Like, I don't feel like it's lost a step yet.
That's good. I don't know why. I haven't started it yet, but I'm going to. I think because I know once I do,
you won't be able to do anything else.
Yeah.
They will consume you.
Yeah.
Twitch. That's what happened to my TV time. I haven't been watching much. I've been on Twitch.
I've noticed that too. Like, live streams have kind of replaced television or movies even. I've got a bunch of movies that I intended to watch. I bought them at the beginning of the quarantine because I was like, I've got to have all sorts of time to get caught up on stupid stuff I refused to watch before, like Anchorman. Like, I've never seen an Anchorman movie all the way through. I've seen scenes, and I'm like, I'm going to fix that. Haven't watched a single Anchorman movie.
Me either. It's okay.
I feel like I might pee myself. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
You should go. Okay. You should go to the bathroom. You could have had me mute the mic for a moment if you really wanted.
I don't think I actually did.
Should I hide myself?
Oh my gosh.
We're going to go Jesse.
Oh, man. Oh, God. So it's all on me. Hey, folks. How we doing?
Okay. Do what you got to do.
Okay.
She's got to go to the bathroom. Savannah says, I don't know. Season 5 of The Simpsons is legendary. I mean, I'm not saying it's necessarily.
I can't even imagine. Like, I can't think back that far. Like, I don't even know what season 5 of The Simpsons is like.
She's never watched Step Brothers.
I haven't seen that one either. Like, I have a huge gap when it comes to anything Will Ferrell. I've seen like a handful of Will Ferrell movies. I'm
not a Will Ferrell fan.
I'm a fan of certain things that he does, but like Talladega Nights, I know people love it, but there's not a lot about that appeals to me enough that I'd want to watch the whole thing.
Talladega Nights I have seen once, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I disliked it. Actively disliked it. Shake it big. Stop
right.
It.
Which that kind of thing that I generally don't like from him either. Like those super duper character based movies like that one, and then there's the one that's basically the same thing but it's basketball. Like, I have no interest in that.
Right. I'm not a fan of his comedy.
Right.
Yeah, Savannah says, I don't think Will Ferrell is that great. But Jasper had said Extraction on Netflix is a good movie.
Huh.
I think I've seen it in the wall of Netflix that pops up, but I haven't watched it. I think it's caught my eye. Maybe I'll check it out.
Holly's been watching this Hellier. I think that's what it's called, but it sounds super crazy, and I don't know if it's real, if it's a real documentary, or if it's one of those mockumentaries that's just supposed to look like one. But I don't know. She's super captivated by it right now. It's got all sorts of like cryptid / paranormal stuff that's happening. It's almost like they're paranormal hunters, but that's not even the whole weird part of it. It's like things just seem to keep happening that coincide. So it's like the weird thing is all the synchronicities that happen. Like, they'll go to this place and they'll be talking about a gal that experienced all this weird stuff. And that same gal will have emailed them like a month ago, kind of thing. And they didn't even know about this gal, but now suddenly they're not only getting emails from this gal, but some other guy that they just interview by some crazy wild happenstance basically like says there's this gal out there. And it's like, what?
What? What kind of show uses the word gal so much? No, I'm just kidding.
By the way,
that's fair. That's fair.
I think it's the lighting. It looks so much more like cloudy in here. than
Clouds, bro, clouds.
It's ridiculous.
It's me.
I don't know what this is. The Righteous Gemstones and Barry on HBO is amazing.
Oh.
HBO is another thing. I'd seen a clip of his Dark Materials. Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's on.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's got what's his name from Hamilton? It's got Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, it's got that guy or girl.
Don't full screen Jesse again. Biggie Joe freaks me out. I did
Biggie Joe.
I did Joe Exotic for that live stream for the 24-hour thing, the artist jam. And so I did Biggie. Gave him the Biggie crown.
That's hilarious.
Because that was the thing. Everybody was supposed to do a Joe Exotic in some unusual way. And I was like, the only thing that could come to mind for me was Biggie with the crown.
That's unusual for sure.
That's what I figured.
Speaking of Joe Exotic, we've gone pretty long. It's in terms of our normal stream, not that long.
I know that was kind of a segue, sort of a segue, but it was spawned by the comments. So
if there were to be a scripted show based on Joe Exotic, who would you want to play Joe Exotic? Who's the first person?
I haven't even seen the show, but I know in my deepest heart of hearts that it would have to be Nicolas Cage.
What? Weird. Okay. Sorry. Well, I've never experienced no crash StreamYard. So let's tempt fate. Okay. Nicolas Cage. Yes. What is this?
They need somebody who's bat poop and who is bat poop more than Nick Cage.
Oh. By the way, is that Whoops.
What? Sorry.
I don't know. Savannah's. I don't know.
Dan from Roseanne and Danny McBride have an evangelical church? What?
Should be David Spade. He already played that role.
Ooh, David Spade would look the part for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is weird. So this was broke several days ago, the 4th, by Variety.com. But apparently Nicolas Cage is set to star in a scripted series centered on Joe Exotic from Tiger King, in case you didn't know.
So is he on board? Like, is Joe Exotic cool with this?
He's a prisoner.
I'm sure.
It doesn't matter. He's a prisoner.
Yeah, but I don't.
I mean, prisoners actually have more rights than normal people, kind of.
He's a prisoner, but he probably also still owes that B. Carol Baskins a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And one takeaway from the series from Tiger King is that he really desperately wants to be famous. So he's probably like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, how much shinier can I make my outfit? Let's do this.
Right.
But I guess I can't make new episodes if I'm locked up. So Nick Cage, have at it.
The Righteous Gemstones. I don't know what that is. Do you?
What?
The Righteous Gemstones?
No.
Savannah keeps talking about it. I don't know what it is.
We don't have HBO, but we'll look it up.
But apparently this will be an 8-episode series. And it's I don't know. I've never watched American Vandal. No. I've heard of it. It's produced by the showrunner of that.
Can I just comment real quick that I was having difficulty looking at that because on the side all I kept seeing was somebody was revealing something about a kitty and had a big weird thing on their head.
What? Oh, this?
Yes.
Well, now we have to go there. Hey, it's Paul
you know who watches The Masked Singer?
Paul loves that show.
Really?
And now I know why.
Because it's got a big weird cat head. That's disturbing.
In the TARDIS, apparently, if the TARDIS were powered by candlelight.
Hey, Paul.
Oh, the audio listeners are gonna love this part.
That's a little visual.
Randy is panning over to this creepiest ever cat head mask singer.
That kind of out creepies Cats, the movie.
A little bit.
Incredible.
I like that the piano player has just like a big feather on their head.
Yeah.
That's quite the mask player. And why? And why do you have to put a mask on the piano player? Like, what is that? Why is that?
Who was under the... Listen. Paul says, meow. All right, good one. I like that. We don't care about who's under the... We don't watch this. We just care about why is that.
Yeah.
Can you say thank you to that?
Thank you, Savannah. To that. Melanie will be in touch. Steampunk TARDIS. I guess that does have a little TARDIS flair in the back there.
It's got the roundels at least.
Yep.
Oh, that actually reminded me of some news that we probably put in the Grawlix podcast group. They're doing this crazy like cross-platform multimedia experience thing that's going to involve like the 12th Doctor and the 10th Doctor and I think it was the 8th Doctor, and it's like I don't know, it's crazy. It's got Tenet looking all like post-apocalyptic in Time Lord gear. I forget what it's called, but it looks super cool, and I'm curious to see. Eccleston's in it too, but I don't know if he will be. I'm really hoping this will be his return to like the role in a Big Finish, but it's also going to be in the comics, so it's likely that the Ninth Doctor stuff will be in comic form,
right?
Which is, it's fine.
I think we should make it our mission to make the Ninth Doctor be good and be the Doctor once in a while for us, because
like we have to personally like get in contact with Eccleston.
Yes.
And be like, listen, man.
I'm hopeful because he has been doing a lot of appearances as the Ninth Doctor, and it seems like he's really made his peace with like the role of it. I don't know if he's made peace enough to like show up in a show, but I wouldn't rule out Big Finish because, Tom Baker came back and did it. Granted, it's probably the only thing that Tom Baker can kind of do right now, but Tom Baker was kind of done with Doctor Who for decades.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like Tom Baker's a good example because that happens once in a while where they're just like, no. And but you can only fight it for so long.
And it's got to be, if people are going to be your fans, for the rest of your life, and you know that they always will.
Yeah, I can understand why they'd be annoyed to like, I've done more than that. Yeah, I remember you were that one villain in what, Thor 2, was it?
Oh God, yeah.
Who was that?
He was a boring Melkar, the elf.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's meh.
But that's the thing. When maybe it takes them to realize that it doesn't matter how great or crappy or whatever anything else they ever do in their career is, there will always still be people who love them as Doctor Who.
Hmm?
I will give him that sounded weird. I will give him that being the first of the new series Doctors.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way of knowing for sure what he was stepping into.
Mm-hmm.
Every Doctor since, and most of the classic Doctors after the first, kind of know what they're getting into. Mm-hmm. Like, I think if you take that role, regardless how long your run actually is, you're a Doctor for life.
Yeah.
Right.
And Eccleston wouldn't necessarily have known that. There's no way to know if that series would have taken off, if the modern Doctor Who would have lasted a season and then fizzled, or what. So maybe he should have known, but
yeah. And real quick, there's Time Lord gear? What's Time Lord gear?
Well, I mean, like the collar, like
okay.
The thing that I hated about Cybermen in this last,
mm-hmm.
this last series, yeah.
Cybermasters,
yeah.
Whatever. What did he call? Is that what he called them?
Oh God, I'm not ready to relive
Why
that.
wouldn't you call them Cyber Lords? That makes so much more sense.
I don't know. It's a better name.
it's still a sore spot.
Yes. God, my two favorite things, and somehow you messed it up. Cybermen and the Master. That should be incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look more into that Doctor Who thing. I seen the story and I kind of read through it and I was like, I don't really understand what this is. So yeah,
it's like it's a crossover. It's like it's an event, and it's gonna span, all sorts of stuff.
So yeah, I'm down for that. That's pretty cool, man.
I love multimedia crafts
and Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
So
put those two together.
It's gonna be confetti doctor thing
with paint and sparkle,
crocheted adipose.
Yeah.
Well, you know what else is due for a comeback? Demolition Man.
Yeah. Of course it is. Of course it is.
Why is this a thing?
Because people are tired of toilet paper. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh,
you gotta have the three seashells. They gotta have the bidet, and yeah, we can't make physical contact anymore. So,
listen, and maybe you know what? I'm gonna have to revisit Demolition Man for GCU in the future. I will revisit Demolition Man.
Yeah, that could pair with some fun stuff.
I've seen it. I seen it in the theaters when it first came out, which was apparently 1993. Holy crap! Well, I seen it in 1993 when it came out, and then I think I've seen it post that. I've seen it once or twice on video. I was never really fond of it. It's kind of a goofy movie, but
for sure.
With some distance.
That's what you do. That's what you do. You pair Demolition Man with a goofy movie.
That's not where I thought that was going. Yeah, okay.
No, that's not what you do with it, but I couldn't resist.
Maddie D, what's going on?
If it wasn't a goofy movie, though, it wouldn't be any good. How do you not know the three seashells? You don't have Facebook and you don't watch Demolition Man? There's something wrong with you.
He doesn't know how to use them, though.
Oh, no. Well,
he clearly knows the reference. Yeah.
That's why we need the movie, because it'll explain it to us. But anyway, the goofiness is what makes it a good movie. If it was just Demolition Man, it would suck. But it's the stupid commercial radio, songs of like the Jolly Green Giant,
Are you talking about a goofy movie?
No, I'm talking about a goofy
And everything is Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Depending where you live. In other countries, it was, what was it? McDonald's or Burger King or something, because Taco Bell's not prevalent. So they'd be like, what?
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. And I want to make you have a mindgasm.
Whoa.
That's what I mean. There's the social distancing you can't touch. So you have mindgasms.
That's true. You know what? Maybe it's time for Demolition Man.
It is. Mm-hmm. But if we do the Goofy movie and the Demolition Man mashup, you'd be like, gosh, let's get some Taco Bell.
Actually...
I don't know how to use the three seashells.
It's pretty good. Demolition Man, the version of the future in Demolition Man is kind of like it's a perfect setup for the meme of like, this is the future the SJWs want.
This is the future the liberals want.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun. And it'd be like, Stallone would be an old guy. And he's the commissioner or whatever now. And he's got to unfreeze some new guy and be like, I know, but you'll get used to it. And then Sandra Bullock's not there anymore because she will, doesn't do that.
Actually, that would be a good. So Demolition Man and either the Captain America movie where he's unfrozen kind of thing would be a good pair, or you could go full on bat crap crazy and you could go with Time Cop
with JB.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, Jean-Claude.
Nobody can do splits like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The muscles from Brussels.
So for audio listeners, I got to highlight it. Jerry the Gnome says, pair it with the Woody Allen movie Sleeper.
yeah, there you go.
But also, Jerry says, just don't give me any rat flap burgers.
No.
Oh,
no.
Why'd you make it burgers? Why'd you make it burgers?
Rat flap burgers.
That'd be better than like the rat on a stick that they, traditionally have. I don't want to eat no nasty. You can still see its parts.
Ooh, that's a good pairing. Encino Man with Demolition Man. Then you have the man-man connection.
Yeah, wait, that's true. Demosino. So just move past that. Here's my pitch. Here's my pitch for Demolition Man 2. Denis Leary was the leader of their like anti PC revolution people. So here's where you go with Demolition Man 2. The society is basically flipped. Denis Leary is the Trump-esque like vulgar leader of the country now.
Since we've gone too far.
Yeah. Except I would much prefer a Denis Leary, even if he was still like doing the safe stuff. I would prefer a Denis Leary.
He's like running down the streets covered in jello, naked, running a parade.
I want them to CGI Dennis Hopper a la Waterworld. That's what I want for Demolition 2.
Paul is saying, all I'm saying, because they blew up the facility, all I'm saying is the sequel is impossible. The sequel is never impossible. What are you talking about?
No.
Yeah, just because they blew up one facility doesn't mean they lost the technology.
Right, Fight Club.
By the way, the entirety of this whole story came from Sylvester Stallone, and I watched a good chunk of it. Like he went on Instagram he went live on Instagram, standing out somewhere while somebody's like waiting for him or something. But for like 15 minutes and just answered questions. It's not as interesting as watching Jeff Goldblum just do or say anything, but it is kind of fascinating to watch Sly Stone, like not as a character, answering people's questions.
Right. He's oddly articulate.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
Nobody ever really realizes how smart the dude is. But he's really smart.
And basically, so apparently there was, and I'm pulling this from comicbook.com, but one of the questions I think was about Demolition Man 2, because there have been rumors that that's been supposedly been in the works. And he confirmed, quote, I think there is, if a sequel could actually happen. And he said, I think there is. We're working on it right now with Warner Brothers, and it's looking fantastic. So that should come out. That's going to happen. So Demolition Man 2 is a thing. Demolition Man 2, how to wipe your butt. I feel like the three seashells isn't a wipe situation though.
It's replacing wiping. It's more. It's got to be like a spray.
And it's a bidet.
Maybe a dryer too. I don't know.
Oh God, Jerry the Gnome. Arnold Schwarzenegger is thawed out, and Stallone and Arnold have to fight a new dictator that was one of the kids from Kindergarten Cop. Now, if you're gonna do that, then you need, because he has to be thawed out, then he has to be Mr. Freeze, right?
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
he's just been chilling out for too long.
That's too good though. They've got to be worse. They've got to make no sense.
No, I know. The Ice Age. That's not even a pun. It's just not even a good joke.
All right, what else we got? Oh, here's one. We skipped over this one, but
oh yeah, this is good. This is good news, actually.
It's our boy.
It's a boy?
It's our boy.
Oh yeah.
It's your boy.
You know when all the YouTubers start, when they're like, it's your boy, they're talking about Taika Waititi.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Only you don't say the name like you're drunk.
You usually don't say it right at all.
I got closer though.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, here's the whole story. This is also from several days ago, but from deadline.com. He's attached to write and direct, to co-write and direct a new Star Wars movie. When's he going to have time to do this? He's attached to
Yeah, he's the new Guillermo del Toro, isn't he?
This is the Flash Gordon movie we were supposed to get, isn't it?
Oh,
This is the Flash Gordon movie we were supposed to get. I don't know. That's speculation.
Disney swooped in and they're like, "We got you, Star Wars instead."
They're like, you can just put Captain whichever one in some silver panties and we'll be good to go.
Harrison Ford in silver panties.
Oh God!
His character. Just
It'd be more like a diaper. Let's get real.
Yeah, but it'd be like, it's him. It'd be some kind of cool space Technicolor diaper.
rainbow dance party diaper.
What is he looking at?
His muse.
Maybe Jeff Goldblum is up there.
In the sky.
Dude, if Taika Waititi involves Jeff Goldblum in any way, shape, or form in a Star Wars movie, I'm in.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
He should be the new bad guy under like a
God, make him a droid. Make him a 3PO.
That is the kind of role because he's the Rock guy. Like that's the perfect type of place to.
Except I want to see his facial expression, so he can't be. Yeah.
You know what? I want him to follow through. This is a lot of Star Wars fans would be very upset about this. I want him to take the reins from Rain Johnson, follow that lead, no CGI, practical everything. He's going to be a silver robot. It's going to look more like the painted up Tin Man from Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
That's the move. That's the Star Wars I want. I don't care about the rest of the story. His name's attached. Oh, but it does point out though, he's been involved with The Mandalorian. He directed some of that and stuff.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
And Disney, it's still Thor Ragnarok, and Disney, he's still with Disney, so like they're gonna keep shoveling him money to make him good stuff, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. So when's I guess when's anything getting filmed now? But when's the next? I'm kind of excited for the next Thor.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of excited for this related story too.
What?
The female-focused Star Wars series from Russian Dolls, Leslie Headland, and works at Disney.
Ooh,
there you go. Hot off the presses from April 22nd.
Russian Doll was really good.
Russian Doll was good. That was a Netflix show. If you haven't checked it out, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
And a famous female-focused Star Wars series is good for, all the men out there.
For all the men who just loved, what's her name, Ray?
Yeah.
This is for you guys.
Yeah.
You know what? You guys could use a little bit of it, though, because we watched a thing, and I know it was old, but we watched a thing earlier on the internet where these guys were playing some game where you're becoming a woman, and good Lord, they know nothing. They know absolutely nothing.
You can't take anything they say. It's a Funhouse video. You can't take anything.
It was.
It wasn't fun?
No. It was painful to watch because they know nothing.
Well, you know what? Speaking of
what?
Okay, I don't have a good segue.
Speaking of not knowing what we're doing.
His family. Oh, hold on. Oh, first off, yes, Thor and Star Wars crossover. If it's like Thor Ragnarok, do it all
at
day
all.
long.
Yeah, please.
His family is chained in Disney's basement until he finishes the movies. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
Hey, it's getting good results.
He's really funny for a guy that's going through lots of trauma.
Right? He's handling it well.
Yeah. A little too well.
Speaking of Disney, there you go.
Speaking of Disney,
this one.
Disney's live-action Hercules won't be a direct remake, according to the Russos. Guess who thought that might be the case last week?
You and me, because I'm like, they can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we'll get to I'm reading this from cinemablend.com, by the way. Credit and all that. So, as Anthony Russo explained, quote, "Well, I think you always have to bring something new to the table because from our perspective as storytellers, it's not compelling for us to do a literal translation. We've already done that with our Marvel films. We don't do literal translations of the We don't do literal translations of the comics because we feel like if we want that story, you can go read that story. We're going to give you a different story. I think we'll do something that's in the vein of the original and inspired by it, but we also bring some new elements to the table.
Okay, real quick. They did not do a literal translation of the Marvel movies.
No, that quote is a little weird because he says, like, we did that with Marvel. And by did that, I mean, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Is basically what he's saying. And, you know, maybe my pacing of my inflection doesn't.
He said it wrong.
You said it wrong, Anthony Russo. Richer than God now, I would assume.
I don't think God is rich. Why? But he doesn't need money.
He's all things.
He's omnipotent.
God is like America, number one in all ways, except better.
Except better.
Joe Russo said, "Both us and our kids are Hercules fanatics, and we had heard that Disney was interested in revisiting it, and we're in love with the original. And we made a case as to why we felt we would be right to produce the film, and here we are. Here's his case."
I feel like he's ping-ponging this whole time. Like he's like, it's totally not going to be like the original. We love the original.
Right?
Like, wait, what's real?
And the first one, he's like, you know, we're definitely going to do something that's in the vein of the original and inspired by it, but also not.
Yeah.
But we love it.
And
we're super fans of it.
How can he say the original? Because that is not.
Oh, yeah.
That is not the original.
That's
Hercules.
ignoring that there was ever probably 50 other Hercules movies before the Disney.
What do you
movie.
mean? Right. What do you mean somebody else wrote this on a pot?
Right? Exactly. Or
you mean somebody else wrote this story? This is a Disney original.
Or yeah, the story that predates.
Mega's a princess.
How many Hercules does it take?
Oh God! How many Hercules movies have there been? Oh,
Google, eat it. No, Google
says
there's been 2 Hercules.
The Rock. That's it.
List of films featuring Hercules. Man, the Italians love them.
If you smell what the son of Zeus is cooking,
there's probably like 40 here. So no, yeah, and that's just movies.
Yeah. Google has been bought out.
Okay, let's see. As long as it stars. Oh, this is about Star Wars. As long as it has stars and a war, I'm good. If DeVito doesn't play Phil, I riot. I think
he said that last week.
Might have mentioned that last week. He's sticking to it.
Is he still around?
DeVito? Yeah.
I feel like he's been like 80 for 30 years.
Since the 70s?
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't forget Hercules in New York.
Okay.
Was that Arnold? Was that Arnold?
I don't know.
I feel like it was. I think that's Arnold.
Hercules.
Hercules. Wasn't there a dog movie named Hercules?
Yeah, that was like Arnold's first like American film.
That's a bad movie.
What, this?
Yeah. Can't you tell? It's like I'm Buff Godzilla Man.
Well, that's just the poster.
Right.
I'm Buff Godzilla Man.
But I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones where like it was one of his early movies. So, he's always had the Arnold accent, but maybe it was a little thicker. But also like he wasn't known, so they just overdubbed him with some other guy, and it does not. It's so wrong.
No.
Oh, that's with Arnold. Arnold credited as Arnold Strong.
Oh.
He didn't have the sway to bring his whole name over from the old country.
They were like, we want them to be able to pronounce this, okay?
DeVito was just in Jumanji? Really?
They redid Jumanji.
Yeah, and the second, the sequel to the new Jumanji.
The second new Jumanji.
Now, Welcome to the Jungle, Jumanji: The Next Level, because now it's a video game. Remember,
I don't understand.
It's got The Rock and your favorite Amy Pond.
Oh,
yeah,
and
Jack Black.
So there's a reason that I've
got all the best.
Yeah, it was a fun dumb movie to go see, but
was it okay? Yeah, I mean,
it's fine. It was fine.
It just didn't strike my fancy.
I would have blown up the theaters if I had known it was happening.
Who hates the theater owners now?
Oh, if they're gonna be playing something with all three of those people in it.
Well, fortunately, theaters are still closed, so they don't have to worry about that. You know who is also closed? The Alamo Drafthouse. But they are keyed into the times because the Alamo Drafthouse has launched Alamo On Demand VOD service.
There we go.
Curated titles and collections for Alamo fans.
Or you could just use Netflix.
Yeah, but they probably got stuff Netflix don't have. Plus, it's that niche thing. So there are certain movies you'll see at Alamo, like they carry certain kinds of movies,
like My Little Pony.
Yes. And Knives Out. Apparently.
I don't know what that is.
Miami Connection. I think they're responsible for like finding a master of that and cleaning it up and distributing it. So
I have heard of Saint Stingray and Parasite though.
Yeah,
when they got the Ruth Bader Ginsburg movie right above that. So these are not things you're gonna just normally see on Netflix, probably.
It's like a mix of genre. It's cult movies, genre, art house, cult films, stuff like that. Yeah. But TheVerge.com, I think I seen this reported today. Basically, Alamo On Demand will include a library of films available to both rent and purchase. And it's selected and curated by the company's programming team. And what else?
That's good.
What else is there to say? Yeah, it's cool. It's cool if you're into that.
Yeah. It's better than watching movies with a bunch of drunk people.
Depends on what movie.
You do not have a. Oh, and Paul. Actually, everybody's got comments about drinking, but can they deliver a beer to my home? ? It says Matt or Jerry.
Depending on what state you live in, probably.
Paul says, yeah, because it's cleaner to drink at home.
Mm-hmm. Because that's why I don't care for that place particularly. Because every time, I've only been there like 3 times. Every time I've been, there's been tons of drunk people. Popcorn in those big weird bowls that it spills out of super easy. And then just
bowls, yeah.
I'd rather not.
I've only gone once, and I think it was with you, Jesse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Met you guys up there. We got to watch Enter the Dragon in the theater.
Yeah, I think it was an original film cut too.
It was sweet.
That's why I mean Alamo Drafthouse. They're sticking around. AMC, they might be a thing of the past, but Alamo's got.
If Dundee Theater would.
Yeah, Dundee's
Theater.
It's kind of. Yeah, it's taken its place. It basically it feels so. Midnight movies, Dundee Theater, they used to do midnight movie showings. It's not like totally unique to here, but it was an Omaha thing. But I feel like people kind of keyed into that kind of thing, and Alamo's basically made its whole business that.
Right, but I'm saying if it ever would be where.
What?
Savannah said she watched the new Depeche Mode movie there.
She watched the Depeche Mode movie there in November. I'm assuming Dundee's still a thing, but it's definitely different. The new owners. Somebody was telling me all about it, but I don't remember enough to really accurately.
It was closed forever.
For a long
pretty
time.
Much forgot it was a thing,
And the people that run it now pushed it more towards art house and less towards genre, which is fine. But we already had the
film streams or whatever.
Yeah, we already had film streams. We didn't need another art house theater. We wanted our genre.
Yeah. Actually, what I really want is to go back in time and save the Indian Hills Theater, because that place was amazing, and I had lots of wonderful memories with that place, and everything would be great there. They had the biggest freaking screen. Oh,
I think, when did they close? Doesn't matter. I think I went there. I think the last theater or the last movie time I was there was when they re-released The Exorcist. But it wasn't the first time I went and seen the re-release of The Exorcist. It was the second time, so it was after the jump scare time. I've told the story before. We don't need to get into it again.
I saw Honey, I Have Shrunk the Kids there at the Indian Hills Theater, and my friend convinced me when I was a child that they actually had a slide and things set up back behind the screen, and if we could just get back there, we could play. And we had a lot of trouble for that.
Outhouse? Yes, that's what I was saying. The Outhouse Theater. Art house. Some people might consider outhouse theater, but you need to get some class, sir.
Some culture.
Get some culture, you swine. That's not really directed at Paul. That's directed at a hypothetical.
Yeah, hypotheticals. Bougie.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have some popcorn right now.
Well, after this we can.
Okay.
I got one more, and this is mainly for you.
For me?
This is from IndieWire.com. If audio listeners are ever like, why does he always pause? It's because I'm pulling up the screen for video listeners. Get with the times.
The times, you know. Oh, my jungle love.
HBO Max will stream Crunchyroll anime titles at launch.
Cool.
So basically, HBO Max is just whatever Disney doesn't own and Netflix doesn't have the current rights to. HBO Max is just going to swallow it. Is that what the deal
like? It kind of sounds like they made Crunchyroll redundant.
Right.
Like, why not just get HBO Max then?
Because they're probably not going to have all the Asian dramas that Crunchyroll has.
There
and
is
if
a
you're
lot.
into Asian dramas, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, so they're only going to have, at least at launch, 17 Crunchyroll titles. One of which is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Ooh.
Yeah. The Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal.
So when is this thing launching? May 27th. Really interesting. So yeah, basically
probably a good time to launch a streaming service, unless you're Quibi.
Right. Don't add us, Quibi.
No, don't
Actually,
add
I
us.
check my Grawlix mail for a bit. I should. So the series will be available in dubbed and subtitled versions. Which ties into our conversation a couple weeks ago. And will include Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, and the Crunchyroll original series In/Spectre. Also, keep your hands off of, what is that? Izouken?
Sure.
You know what? It was a mistake for me to think I could start reading these. I'm not going to do it.
You can do Kill La Kill.
Kill La Kill.
Well, I know they're gonna have Doctor Who too. Like they're gonna have
Doctor Who.
They swooped in and they got Doctor Who from Amazon because Amazon Prime had all the new Who.
They're gonna have Doom Patrol. They're gonna have Doctor Who, and they're gonna have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
They're gonna have Doom Patrol.
They're
yeah.
DC. It's
yeah. All the DC stuff is getting ported over there.
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
I thought they were starting their own.
Well, they do have their own.
They've had their own.
Oh.
Another app that's going to be made relatively redundant, unless you use it for comics.
Right.
Okay. Well, that sounds wonderful. Hey, look, it's that chick again.
Her?
Yeah. Oh, I guess it's both of them, huh? They're talking about Westworld, huh?
So, Westworld. Welcome to the new future titles. Hunter x Hunter. You love that one.
I love that one.
Yeah. And
Death Note. I love that one too. Only I like the anime Death Note. I do not like the live action. It's wrong.
Okay, so HBO Max subscription will cost $14.99 a month.
You better. If I don't like it, I'm gonna come after you, Paul.
But will offer. Let's see. It'll have stuff from DC Extended Universe films and a suite of classic films curated by the AT&T owned Turner Classic Movies, and series such as The Big Bang Theory. Oh yeah, they got the big. That's a big pull though. That's a big get.
Oh, and Friends.
And Friends.
What? Holy moly.
The Boondocks. Oh, the Boondocks was fun. And the guy Gossip Girl. Just weird. Just everything. It's everything.
I like hearing stories from the people who made Friends.
Oh wait, Friends.
You know where you guys talked about this exact thing?
Where?
Weird. Okay.
On the 24-hour Starfighter thing with Moose, and he just dropped that episode recently, the ABCs of pop culture. You guys dove into Friends a little bit and even talked about, I think, Chuck Lorre or whatever, the guy that did Big Bang Theory. So there's your segue to pimpage.
Oh.
Big Bang Theory does suck. Thank you, Savannah. Yeah, so
yeah, we love racist shows. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Racist. Oh, Boondocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Boondocks is fun. So, yes, go watch it. Listen to it. I was distracted.
You know where you can find that show and others. You can
on
go
electronicmediaclonic. Electronicmediaclonic.com. You didn't know about that one, right?
Don't search for that in Google.
No. Yeah, so Paul released the episode. I'm glad he put it out. It's on Bullspit. Just bullshit with Bullspit with Moose. Paul, you did it to me. I haven't slipped in so long.
You didn't slip until now.
I did so good. But Melanie didn't. Not on the stream last night. She dropped the hard C. Woo!
It's funny because you guys called me out in that segment because it was like, it's, after 24 hours of streaming, they're like, there have been only 2 F-bombs, and it was Eddie and Jesse that did it.
My mind was blown that you were one of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even remember when I did it. I remember doing it because I immediately went like, oh! and so I can't deny it. It happened, but I don't even know when and where. I forgot.
We're talking about the 24-hour Last Starfighters group. Is it Last Starfighters group?
Yep, the Last Starfighters Entertainment Group.
It's
a mouthful.
They did a 24-hour live stream, which I think we talked about last week.
We did,
remember, but we did. And I was on, Paul invited me on, and I was on with Paul and Billy for this pretty cool segment of ABCs of pop culture. And you can hear that in audio form without having to try to track down the live video on Paul's podcast, Just Bull Spit with Moose, which you can check out at electronicmediacollective.com/bullspit.
Billy is a little child's name, and if it's a man's name, it makes me want to do that thing where you go to the glass and you pull up your shirt. You're like,
Billy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that in group chats, that's what Axton does all the time. He throws that gif up of Jim Carrey just doing that.
The Cable Guy is a good movie.
It is really surprisingly good movie. Yeah. Unlike Will Ferrell, Jim Carrey had a pretty solid record. There's some bad Jim Carrey movies, but not as many as there are bad Will Ferrell movies.
Will Ferrell's only good when he's not trying to be funny. And that's
Holly would totally agree with that. Like her favorite Will Ferrell movies, probably the only Will Ferrell movie she likes is Stranger Than Fiction.
Right, me too.
Accurate?
She said accurate from the other room.
I haven't seen it, so I don't have a favorite Will Ferrell movie.
Oh, well, that one's
pretty good.
Decent.
Yeah.
Jerry agrees with you. Hand to God, Mel, I agree with you.
Yep. See, everybody knows it.
Although the phrasing makes me think like he's just worried you're gonna beat him. Cable Guy's on Crackle right now. Man, Cable Guy deserves so much better than Crackle, but it also feels appropriate. It's very underrated. People, I don't know why. It's never really.
It's because
see, it's so good. People don't really like it. I don't get it. It's definitely my favorite of the early Jim Carrey movies.
It's because it took Jim Carrey in a different direction, and people didn't like
right.
that. So it's a little jarring, particularly in that time frame. But you go back and you watch that movie. I just rewatched it not too long ago because it was like free with ads on Vudu, you know, because that's what happens to movies that are on Crackle.
Right.
And also, I think I could be wrong, but I feel like it was the first time you had seen Matthew Broderick since like the 80s
in like a long time.
Yeah,
and it wasn't what people were expecting from him either.
That's true.
Did he do Inspector Gadget before or after Cable Guy? Because I feel like his career just kind of took a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's a good. I feel like it was after.
Yeah.
What about?
I don't know that either were particularly good for his career.
What about Election?
Right.
Election, I feel like was before.
Because they kind of.
But that's kind of indie.
They seem like the same kind of a character to me a little bit. Like they're like try to be good guys, but they're really actually kind of greasy ass hats.
I like that. It's fun. All right, let's go to his filmography. Let's take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. Where's the Cable Guy? Where is it? Okay. And dude, actually, he worked pretty consistent.
Really?
Through the 80s into the 90s.
That's because we just never saw any of the stuff that he did.
Because 90s hit and he started doing some voice. Okay, there was a little bit of gap. He was in The Freshman in 1990, and then 92, Out on a Limb. 93, The Night We Never Met. He was the voice of adult Simba in 94, Lion King. And then he did there's a couple other, The Road to Wellville.
I like The Road to Wellville.
Which I don't think did well, but I do remember it, and I think I remember you talking about it.
Yeah.
And some other stuff.
And then The Cable Guy.
The Thief and the Cobbler came out the same year as The Cable Guy.
So it was before Election, and it was before...
Election wasn't until 99.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go from doing Election the same year you did Inspector Gadget?
I don't know.
He needed money. Was it Sarah Michelle? Not Sarah Michelle
he married
Gellar.
Horseface and had to go
Sarah,
with some money.
Jessica Parker needed some dress money or something.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, they're married.
Needed a saddle. She don't listen. It's fine.
She doesn't.
I messaged her. I said, don't listen to me.
Nobody likes her anyway.
All right. Anyway.
Actually, I did like her in Girls Just Want to Have Fun, but that's not, I didn't really like her. I just liked the movie. And so I have to like her kind of because she was in it. But that's because Cyndi Lauper rocks. Okay, let's go. Move on.
Savannah's right. She was probably making more money than Matthew Broderick at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. So he was just trying to not look like a chump.
Yeah. He needed dress money.
Yeah.
The election was 98. Oh, okay. Well, Wikipedia, it's not guaranteed to be completely accurate.
Did they film Election, or was it?
I think it was Election.
In Omaha?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Omaha and Lincoln and stuff.
I know they did Mallrats, but...
What?
Yeah, they filmed... Yeah, that's how I met... what's her name? Bad word. Brenda. She was Brenda from 90210.
Shannon Doherty?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem right.
Okay, we'll look it up.
I want to know.
I want to know.
I know this is not exciting, but
I would say I don't know what to talk about right now. I liked Mallrats when I watched it.
Well, there are.
Do you know what mall it would have been?
It was filmed in a mall in Eden Prime, Minnesota.
Okay, sure.
Due to lower production costs, because of course they wanted to do New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you're thinking another movie.
It can't be. It had to have been that one because Shannon Doherty was here.
She's done a couple others.
And I remember because I drove us there, and this one guy was obsessed with her, and he bought her a necklace. It was Shannon Doherty.
Well, that's fine, but she's done other movies.
Okay.
Was it about Schmidt? She's not in that.
No. Election was there, yeah.
Here's some stuff that's been filmed in Omaha, Nebraska, or at least have scenes filmed. Downsizing, Up in the Air, Election, Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. I don't get why. I didn't like that movie. I don't get why it was so popular. American Idol. About Schmidt. Okay, that doesn't count. The Writer, The Indian Runner, Citizen Ruth.
I remember Indian Runner too.
Boys Town, Trading Space. Oh, TV show. Sorry.
Well, then I just don't know. That life is lying to me.
Okay, well, how about this?
Shannon Doherty?
Gone in the Night, 1996 TV movie starring Shannon Doherty.
Okay, maybe that's what it was then, I guess.
You know, yeah.
All I know was Shannon Doherty was here, and we went and saw her, and some guy gave her a necklace, and she was not nice about it.
That does not surprise me.
She got a lot of press for being kind of not friendly, I guess.
Sorry, real quick. Wesley Snipes is not nearly as hot in a dress as John Leguizamo.
Oh man, John Leguizamo was hot in a dress.
See?
He has
Feminine features.
Yeah, more delicate features.
Yeah.
As someone always tells me.
He can pull it off.
Yeah.
You do have delicate features, babe, but they're beautiful.
I'm rugged. Okay, so Savannah met Ethan Embry.
Yeah, we know.
Ethan Embry seems pretty cool though.
Yeah. Did you ask him why he changed his name?
What was his name?
It used to be I can't remember, but when he was in the movie Dutch as a child, he had a different last name, and then he changed it to Embry when he became an adult.
Okay. All right. Oh, she didn't. All right. What else we got? Okay, so we pimped Paul's thing. Hey, Twitch.tv, Jerry, you're already there. You know the deal. Twitch.tv. I mean, honestly, except for tonight, because we're streaming there already right at this very moment, every night at 10, I'm there. I don't know how long I'm going to keep that streak going, but like I said, it's pretty much replaced my game or TV time. That's my game time. So I'm like, well, I'll just do it on Twitch.
Speaking of Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
Are you going to pimp his stuff?
You should listen to... Oh, actually, I am going to mention Matt's stuff because he's producing a new show on the network. It just joined not long ago. And if you got kids, it's probably a podcast they might want to listen to. It's called Hey, I Got a New Book. And it's a kids podcast.
Like the
with kids.
Like Reading Rainbow?
Except if LeVar Burton was a child too. Like, it's, as far as I could tell, it's all children.
That sounds awesome.
And they talk about books.
That sounds super awesome. I'm impressed.
He also produces and hosts Comics with My Kids. And I believe there's been a new episode of both of those recently. Episode 2 dropped yesterday of I Got a New Book. It will be on the EMC site very shortly. In which, and Comics with My Kids is in which Matt talks with his kids about comic books that they like.
And 60s.
My son and nephew. Oh, is that I Got a New Book? He talks with my son and nephew.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I Got a New Book is Matt's son and nephew. Cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm sure maybe there's others, but it's very unique to listen to a podcast and not hear an adult voice.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah,
sounds like something I've never heard before.
That's something a kid would like.
Mm-hmm.
Indoctrinate your kids to podcasts. Listen to I Got a New Book.
Start them young. Yep.
And then make them want to podcast themselves and then pay Randy. Oh man, editing a kid's podcast. Oh, I don't know what your edit time is like on that, Matt, but I do not envy that. I do not envy you there. So Grawlix?
What are you talking about?
Just like cigarettes, start them young.
Yeah.
Smoke.
Thank you for smoking or not smoking or whatever that movie is.
But you can hear that show on electronicmediacollective.com. It's our podcast network. I run that thing.
You know who? We need to get Savannah started on a podcast, and then we'll all be podcasters.
She loves to talk. Savannah's been on podcasts. She might have been on podcasts before we were.
She was.
That predates me.
See, Savannah, you need to jump on it.
You're an old hat. Is that the expression? Old hand?
Old hat at it.
You're an old hat.
You're an old hat. We're going to get a patch for you. We're going to put a new brim on you. You'll be real nice.
This is the most like custom tailored podcast for like 3 people on Earth that's ever existed. Our live shows are for 3 people and 3 people only. And you know what? 1, 2, 3 viewers.
Yep, there they are.
We just need to start talking to other people that aren't there, and eventually maybe they'll start watching too.
They'll just wander in and be like, "Oh, you guys are already talking about me." Every once in a while, we get some rotating cast of characters. Like Andrew Schmidt will pop in once in a while.
Right. Yeah, Savannah was a regular on ScurvyCast.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if ScurvyCast is still going.
I don't think it is, but I could be wrong.
No?
I don't know. I don't think so, but who knows?
You don't think you could do a podcast by yourself? I bet you could.
I could.
No, I mean, it'd be something like, yeah. Conversational. Okay. I need a drink.
You don't drink.
Of Diet Pepsi.
Of that delicious, refreshing Diet Pepsi. Actually, it's not so delicious right now.
It's flat and warm.
A little flat, a little warm. Oh, they took down the episodes. Oh, that's kind of a bummer. Yeah, I mean, podcasting it's always a risk because, you know, somebody has to pay for that. Unless you upload them to archive.org.
Yeah.
Yep.
Paul
says, Savannah, let's do the Grawlix fan club podcast.
As long as you don't do this, the Grawlix Quibi fan cast.
Right, you'll be okay. Quibi won't. We won't come after you. Quibi might though.
Yeah.
What if there was a Grawlix fan cast that was better than our podcast? It probably would be.
Careful. Yeah.
We got a bigger following than our show.
Right.
And they would just talk about the topics that we talked about.
That would actually probably improve our show somehow. Like if their show is better than ours.
That's a good pick. 60s Reboot, Matt's other podcast, will be doing Lost in Space soon. That's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I hadn't thought of Lost in Space.
Yeah, you could recast that. That'd be really fun to recast. I know they've done it a few times. I mean, there's a Netflix show now, but like it'd be fun to recast with pre-existing, actors or whatever.
Yeah.
But they gave Robbie the Robot a sexy butt. That's weird.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Is it sexy?
People
Prince
online
Robot
thought
the
it was
Third.
sexy.
The Thirst.
60s Reboot will do a commentary track of Grawlix podcast.
Oh God. Hey, that's kind of how he got started, right? He was yelling at his podcasts when he would listen to us. So
that's right.
That's how Matt got his start, yelling at us.
That's why that's how we keep inspiring people to start their own podcasts. They're just like, I can do this.
He's like, it's an editing nightmare. Yeah, because editing this is a nightmare. right, Randy?
That's why the live shows aren't edited.
That's right.
Have fun editing a commentary of this. All right, everybody. Yeah, let's wrap this up. This was a fun episode.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Have a good.
Can I ask a real quick question? Do you think a nipple would be weird if it didn't have an areola?
Yeah, because it'd just be a spike.
Right.
You would just call it a spike, I think.
No. Okay, I guess I am weirdo. I'm weirdo.
Okay, I got to read Jerry the Gnome's comments. before the areola thing.
Okay.
And you guys still don't hear me when I yell at radio. And I think the yes, a nub. And it says, what now?
I just think I don't like that part. This should all turn into the nub.
and nothing else.
Exactly.
Wow.
Paul's giving us our segue again. What's interesting, Melanie? What should we be amazed by?
Oh, poop, I didn't even look it up. Oh, but I can do the one from before.
You have so much knowledge.
Okay, well, let's do... Okay, they recently
decided that nipples should have no...
No, they built an engine that is... It's basically like a... Think of like an air filter, I guess. It's like a circle with like little notches in it. And so they shoot the gases into it, and then it ignites continually, like over and over and over. But it's faster than the speed of sound. It's supersonic, and it's more efficient than current rockets. It's going to be way lighter and use way less fuel, and so it's going to possibly revolutionize space travel. But the issue is that it has to be very, very exact in the amounts of fuel that it shoots into each chamber, and has to do it really quickly, obviously too. So, but they made one that works. So they're working on amping it up so that they can use it in all the rockets from now on, hopefully.
It's cool.
Supersonic engine. Woo!
Yeah, that's interesting. Fires cylinders faster than the speed of sound.
Yeah, it spins faster than the speed of sound, and it's just continual detonations.
I wonder what it sounds like.
Probably loud.
All right. By the way, viewers, if you're wondering why I'm making weird faces, and I don't know about Jesse, but
me too. I've been the whole time. I'm just like, I'm listening to Mel, but I'm trying to keep a straight face because I'm also reading the comments. And you guys are just stuck on the nub.
Yeah, the comments just are hard to deal with after Melanie talked about the nipple. Except Jerry's talking about breast cancer survivors after reconstruction. Like, there's no nipples or areola, but they got them tattooed on.
I wouldn't get nipples tattooed on. I'd just get a whole chest tattoo if that were me.
Of a nipple.
No, not of a nipple. Of like
a big graffiti style, though. It's super stylized. It's like a cartoon nipple right on your chest.
No. Like a Minecraft one.
A Minecraft nipple.
No.
Like a block.
No, I get like the thing where God's touching the human man's finger. I get like a big thing like that.
You get the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
Yes, that's what I'd get across my chest instead.
The birth of man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have to stop this.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh boy.
Oh man. See, on Twitch,
I tell you, like the last hour of our show just goes completely off the rails and we get really bizarre.
Yeah, no kidding. Can you imagine when Melanie all Melanie decided topics podcast would be?
Fantastic.
We'd scrap all this TV talk and all the news.
Yeah,
it's just what does Melanie give us a list of things? That's probably what a certain Melanie and Chill podcast type thing would be. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a good weekend. Have a good Friday and then weekend. And join me on Twitch tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure I'll be streaming tomorrow night. And do all the things. Have all the fun responsibly. Have responsible fun. And go to grawlixpodcast.com for more responsible fun.
Get your humble bundles. Just add a /humble.
/humble. That'll take you right to Humble Bundle. Jesse, do you have anything specific you want to mention to people before we go?
No. I mean, I have officially joined the guys over at Make Eternia Great Again, that podcast, and so you can see me doing more of those like Rammy reads videos and that kind of thing.
You strumpet.
I'm a strumpet.
You what's the word I'm looking for? That's
cross promoter.
You tart.
You harlot.
You just want to use
you harlot. Thank you.
No, no harlots get paid. I get paid nothing, sir.
That's true.
Now, oh, sorry, real quick. That's not thing. This is. Wait, I can't.
What is happening?
This is my face hugger.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.